Yep.
Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pure Principle Call. Love seeing everybody here. This is where you come and you get filled up. All right. So we've got Dr. Joe Arvay, respectfully, Papa Joe Arvay, who is going to be training and going deeper into the principles of chiropractic. He is going to hit every principle today. 100%. All right, Papa Joe, let's roll.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's an honor to be here with you this morning. And as I was preparing, I mean, boy, if I hope that you all are tuning into these calls. I call them calls because that's what they are to me. I mean, with Dr. Herb and what he's been through and what he had to say, what Cassie Major said 2 weeks ago about sharpening your axe as far as the prayer calls we have on Tuesday mornings. Dr. Pete talking about just, the questions that he asked his daughter as they transition into new aspects of life. And so I invite you. Today's called Pure Principle. Well, what in the heck does that mean? And so today, as a good Papa Joe, I want to go deeper. I invite you to see what I see. Again, if some of you don't know me, I was born in 1965. So I've been walking on this planet for a while. I went to Live Chiropractic College when Sid Williams was there. And the thing is that I've been in practice since 1991, went to chiropractic college in 1987. I've had a lot of seasons, if you would, to walk through what we call this principle. And I'm going to challenge you and challenge us and invite you to see that they are layers, okay? In the world, again, okay, you got to know who I am, right? So the way life works, life is cyclical and ascending when you are going in a good direction, or in my world, green grass. When you're making green grass, positive neuroplastic input, when your choices are in line with heaven, that's going to have a force or a pull on your life, like the law of gravity. That's going to have a cyclical, okay, and ascending up process. So it's like if you don't learn it, if you don't get it the first, like each camp, the coaches, Soup or Erdmeyer or Wolfman or somebody or Cam will say something that they said before, but you hear it with different ears and you go, oh, that makes sense. Now I get it. Why is that? Because it's cyclical. You're going to come around, you're going to hear it again, and it's going to take you to a higher level. That's one side. The Bible says, John 10:10, devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but Jesus came to give life more abundantly. So that side, giving life more abundantly, is cyclical and ascending, okay? The more you apply the principle, in truth, it can have a cyclical and ascending effect on your life, on your health, on your marriage, on your relationships. I'm going to say lots of things in and out today, but the first thing is the principle, the 33 principles, is not a formula or a tool for success. It's not a tool that you use to grow your practice. It's not a tool that you use to make money. It's not a tool that you use to get on stage somewhere. It's not an on or an off. Okay, the principle is it is what it is. Sarah Losby talked about way back. David Erb talked about it. I'm glad that she put words to it. That it's an infinity game. It's an infinity game, right? To infinity and beyond, right? And the more you make peace with that, dare I say, surrender to that it's an infinity game, then the easier your life gets, right? But here's the thing. It can be an infinity game, cyclical and ascending, if you make the right choices, which are in line with the laws of nature. Nature's God. The laws of nature makes the rules. The principle makes the rules. The principle that you apply in your life dictates whether your life is going to be cyclical and ascending or cyclical and descending. Okay? So again, if you understand my life, you see my garden hose in the back there. You can make decisions that are going to be cyclical and have a green grass life-giving effect on you, or you can apply the anti-principle, the principle, or ignore the principle, or put the principle on a shelf, and that in itself will have a brown grass, eventually dead grass effect on any aspect, every aspect of your life. 360 degrees of your life. So the principle is pure. When you apply it, it has a cyclical and ascending effect on everything you touch. The principle is pure. If you don't apply it, you take a break, you make other choices. It has a cyclical, because it'll give you a chance to change. Why am I always dating the wrong person? Why am I always finding myself in this situation? Why is this happening to me again? But now it's a little bit worse. Because life is a cyclical, ascending or descending process. It depends on how you apply this pure principle that dictates whether you're going to ascend up, cyclical, ascend up, or ascend down. Okay? That's really where it's at. And so as I was preparing for today's call, I really wanted to help you see how to apply these principles, these laws. What you think about something controls or dictates the relationship you have with it. What I think about my wife will dictate the marriage that I have, will control the marriage I have as far as being responsible for me. So if I don't like my marriage, I better change what I'm thinking about it. What I think about practice will dictate how long I'm in it, how much I love my patients, how I serve, and how I get to serve, what I think about that. What I think about money and high volume and myself and my children and my team and my patients and this world and what I see going on, what I think about what they show me on Facebook, what I think about what they show me on YouTube. They know that. And if they can control my thinking, then they can control the relationship in which I have with something. People who are not on today's call just think, okay, I'll get to it later. Or maybe I'll never get to it. Or maybe it doesn't have any value. Let me take a sip of my tea with butter in it. Applying the principle. Ooh, it's hot. So understanding what I think about you dictates how you and I are in a relationship. If I think showing up to camp for the last almost 2 years is going to have an impact and I'll be able to be a blessing to somebody and myself, then I show up to camp. I show up to seminars, which gives me a plug. Make sure you go to MLX Certainty, okay, coming up the 22nd and through the 24th in September. I personally have to tell you I will not be there because, again, in my ascending principle, my daughter May will be graduating from Life Chiropractic College. So in my hierarchy of life, she comes first. Sorry, y'all. I love you, but I'm really her Papa Joe. And then my son Luke actually starts that same following weekend at Life Chiropractic College. So my Papa schedule is there, but I'll be loving with you. I'll be there at camp, so make sure you get there. So the principle is not a tool that you can take in and take out and use to your advantage and make it get you new patients. It's an infinity game. And here's the cool thing about an infinity game. The principle tells us that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, we have a pile of gold to use to our advantage. If we don't get up out of bed and go use that pile of gold to our advantage and we ignore it, then it's there. But we ignore it or we don't think we need to use it this day. And so we choose not to use it. We choose to live a brown grass, or make a brown grass choice or something that goes against the principle, thinking, I can do this. I'm okay. I'm different. I can go drinking. I can wake up the next day and be okay. I can stay up late and binge on TV. Maybe you can. Maybe your war plan says it's time to binge or it's time to party. That's okay. But it's your lifestyle that really matters whether you're applying the principle or not. And I know people who can quote the 33 principles, but they're not applying it on a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week basis. They turn it on for seminars. They turn it on for practice. They turn it off in their marriage. They turn it off in their parenting. They turn it off when it comes to their health. And they're missing out on the infinite game, right? The unlimited game, the unlimited gold that we get to have. And we have at our access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days of the year for, according to the Bible and research, up to 120 years of living. So we have this power, we have this principle, we have the ability to make every decision in our life be a cyclical, ascending decision that's in alignment with heaven, that's in alignment with the principle, that's in alignment with green grass life, right? Or in that same 24/7, 365, it never stops. It's infinite. It's how we treat it. It's how we choose to look at it. It's what we think about it, right? That we can make choices that are descending, cyclical descending, that will have a direct brown grass or dead grass effect. And is it overnight? No, it's not overnight, maybe. Compound effect, the momentum effect means that we're building it, right? The compound effect says it's not the first cigarette that kills you. Maybe it's the 1,000th. Or it's not the first Big Mac that kills you, right? Maybe it's the 1,000th. Or it's not the first day you decide to sleep in and skip your workout. It's the months later that effect it has on your mind, on your body, on your life. And again, getting back to all of this, nature makes the rules, people. God makes the rules. He's just inviting you to live in alignment with them. And sometimes as I was preparing, it's like, I at one time in practice, I was standing there thinking, I thought, you know what? I really don't ever get a day off, do I? And God said, no, really you don't. John 10:10. Doesn't mean I'm sprinting and making decisions that are life-taking and overworking and not being around for my family. But like Pastor Aaron used to say, we're always on. I may be on taking care of my physical body. I may be on taking care of my marriage. I may be on taking care of my team and my practice. And a good war plan allows us to designate the time, but we're always on, right? We're always on because we've surrendered to a mission, to a purpose, to a calling in our life to serve this principle, which is always on. So if the principle is always at work in either creating life and life abundantly, or the principle, if we ignore it, creates death, creates disease, creates sickness, creates an at-ease state, right? Being always on and making the best decisions possible in alignment with heaven is a life at ease. No matter how busy you might seem, you're doing it at ease or in shalom, in peace. Or you can be putting in as much effort and not be at ease, be stressed out, be striving to try to make something happen, and yet you're self-sabotaging all over the place. Whose fault is that? It's the principle. We either will live and live abundantly based on the principle, or we will not live very well and die based on the principle. We have to honor and surrender to that. So why is it that somebody loses 100 pounds and then gains it back? Why does it somebody that goes to 1,000 a week and then 5 years later, they're not even in practice. They're not even married. They're not even talking to the team to help them get there. Why is it that, we do 75 strong, right? Or 75 hard, see amazing results, and then we quit afterwards? Why is it that we make a goal to run a marathon, but then after we run that marathon, you can't even get yourself to go out and do a training run? It's because we've taken the principle, we've used it for what we want, and then we put it on a shelf. We use it to get what we want, right? And then we stop. And then we can't figure out why. It hurts my heart when someone says, well, when I used to be at this, I used to do this. Well, why did you stop doing it? Is it not working? There's times to ebb and flow. And again, getting back to camp, yes, there are times to look at your life, that's your war plan, and know what to start doing again, or start doing for the one, keep doing and then stop doing, right? So a lot of you have done the 75 hard, and hopefully you've said, well, I need to keep doing this. This was good for me. I need to stop thinking about when I'm going to go back to my old. Why would you go back to the old brown grass ways, right? Or what do I need to start? I need to start changing my mindset and think about how I see this, because it's funny. Papa Joe moment. When I heard about 75 hard, I thought, well, we've been doing 365 hard for the last 20 years. Good idea, good concept. Maybe it gets you off your butt to go do something to apply the principle and the habits for 75 days. Good job. But guess what? We were designed to live for 120 years of being on principle, being on purpose as a gift God's given us for up to 120 years. So 365 a year, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have access to this principle to be used by God on the mission that he's created us to be on, that brings abundant blessings. It brings us vacations. We were just in Cabo not too long ago. My buddy, Dr. David Melendez says, see all this stuff here? New patients makes that happen. And in essence, he's right. Dr. Greg says 80 new patients a month fixes everything. And in essence, it's right. The more people you get to serve and love on and use and apply the principle to, name your price. Just go serve more people and live in the principle, and it will take you there. But also not living in the principle and thinking you're going to get there. The principle is too smart. It makes the rules, and it will not let you win certain games if it knows it's going to have a life-taking effect on you. So that's where the war plan comes in. You got to know what to start, what to stop, what to keep. And I can tell you with that, think about this. How bright can you shine today? Because there's ways in life, in a marriage, in health, in a practice, that are popular. We get sucked into Instagram, we get sucked into YouTube, and again, what they make us think about something is usually dictates the relationship we have with it. And there's a way that seems popular, the way that seems right to man, but in the end, it leads in death. So, are there things right now that we need to apply the principle to, or stop doing, or start doing, or keep doing, that are in alignment with the principle that we've talked about every Thursday? Not that we get on this call because I need to pump up or I need to grow my practice. That's like saying, well, Dr. Joe, which one of these vitamins can I take to fix my blood pressure? Or give me that adjustment to fix my headache. Or tell me how I can fix my wife. Or how can I lose? Give me something on the outside to make me feel better about myself. Give me something on the outside to change my outward appearance so I look successful to myself or to those around me. That's all anti-principle. And again, cyclical and descending, and leads to death. Death of a marriage, death of a relationship, death of a practice, death of finances. And you may not notice it right away. You may think you're winning right away, right? There's a lot of people in this country, in this world, that think the way they're operating that is against the principle is winning. It's not. They're losing. They're losing big time. And so again, the way it seems right to man and woman may lead to life or may lead to death. The principle dictates which direction you go. You can make sure your mind, right? The 5 essentials. Your mind is in peace and shalom. You're at ease. You're in a good mood. You don't see people as numbers or a way to increase your goals. You see people as family. You see your wife, your husband, your kids as family. You love them first and foremost. Then you see your team as family, which means you have a responsibility to make sure they are growing, they are happy, and winning. They feel like they're winning the role they have in your family. That your love to them doesn't depend upon numbers. They don't have to earn your love. You love them because they are your family. The same thing with patients, so you have peace every day. Then you have power, which means you're getting adjusted. You know what your spinal curves are. You're getting them corrected in your office or somewhere else, but you're doing everything that you're teaching people to do. Again, that has an ascending cyclical effect on you. The power of the principle. You are applying the principle first in your life. First, you have peace, and your thoughts are in alignment with what you want to go in your life. Your thoughts are in alignment for what God says about that person or that situation in your life. Then you're taking care of your spine. You're getting adjusted. You're being the best patient possible. Then you're fueling yourself with food. Again, there's vacation days, but not vacation months or vacation years, right? There's days that you take breaks. That's fine. And again, I'm not saying perfect, psycho, wacko, cyborg. I'm talking about a life of grace. Knowing that every decision can give love or take love away from myself or those around me. And that's really what it is. I had a family come in the other day, and they haven't been the most consistent patients. So I had a choice. Am I going to go in there and just tell them, okay, this is what you need to do to get better, or just love them? I call it the Zacchaeus effect. Jesus chose to love Zacchaeus, had lunch with him, and just because Jesus chose to love Zacchaeus, Zacchaeus started making the life transformation that Jesus wanted to see or hoped that he would have. Why? Because it gave life to Zacchaeus. Check it out. Read it. And then so you have food. Are you sabotaging your life because the food, right? Are you sabotaging your life because you're not getting in shape? You're not doing the things. You know, it breaks my heart, and I don't judge you, but when I go to camp and see people struggle, we should be the fittest ones out there. We should be the ones that are having fun and enjoying the workout part, right? We have a relationship with people that we are to lead them in fitness, not just 75 hard, but 365 strong for years and years and years. And then the last thing, we have to protect ourselves. And I'll be wrapping this up. Be careful what you occupy your mind with. If your thoughts start saying, oh, again, I rest. I take naps every day. That's in alignment with the principle. I take time with my family. My war plan protects me. My war plan protects my marriage. My war plan protects time with my kids. My war plan protects to make sure that I'm life-giving at all times, and it protects me. My team protects me. So the last essential as far as protection, yeah, watch what you're eating, watch what you're drinking, watch what you're taking in, watch what you're watching, watch what you're thinking. Be careful what you occupy your mind with. Because again, the first principle, the laws of nature, is mentalism. It's what I think. And what I think about God will really dictate and control what my life looks like. If I see him as love and peace and as a good father, and he has unlimited, infinite game for me, and he has piles of gold and ability and the principles to go make an amazing life based on the laws of nature that he's given me, and I have an ability to create those in a war plan using my mind and my spine and my food and my exercise, my strength, and then protecting it from stinking thinking or toxins. I can apply that on a 24-hour basis and take that ride through life that's ascending and cyclical. That's what the pure principle is all about. That's the secret that we own as Max Living Doctors that we can apply every day. And it just hurts my heart when we choose not to apply those in love, when we stop loving ourselves, when we stop loving our spouses, when we stop loving our children, we stop loving our team, we stop loving our patients, we stop loving the principle that we get to apply every day. That's when things begin to go cyclical and descending and lead to a dead grass, brown grass life. And the devil would love to keep you cyclical and descending, chasing your tail, chasing life, chasing money, chasing love, chasing all this stuff, when it's all given to you on a regular basis every day. As sure as the sun comes up and the moon set, we have the power in our fingers, in our hand. Greater is he that's in you, that's in the world, from above down, inside out. And ladies and gentlemen, that's really the principle. There's 33 written by chiropractors to explain how to apply that. There's 12. There's so many that are written as far as laws of nature, nature's God. It's in the Declaration of Independence. It's in the Constitution. It's in the Bill of Rights. It was around 100 BC when Cicero talked about it. There's all these great people. They always applied laws of nature, nature's God, because they knew, just like the law of gravity. Doesn't matter what you believe, law of gravity works. So as you take these principles, keep a mind on what you're occupying your mind with. Fill it with love. Love yourself. Love God. Fill your cup each day, and then go pour that out onto people and tell them you believe in them. Tell them that when I adjust you, there's an amazing power that gets released that's going to go to work on all that stuff that's inside you to make you stronger, make you healthy, make you live a life of ease. That's the reason for the pure principle. That's the reason for the power. No, I love and appreciate you. And if you need anything, just message me. I'm here for you. Don't forget certainty. Again, certainty, right? I am so certain about what I'm telling you right now. I've lived it the right way. I've lived it the wrong way. I've broken all the rules. I've broken myself over this. And I'm saying no more, not enough. No more. Now it's time to make every choice in alignment with the principle, in alignment with heaven. Because I just don't want to go this way and down anymore. And I don't have to. You don't have to. So get to MLX Certainty. Okay. Get to camp. Get to the 1 days coming up in Denver in November. Man, it's going to be fun. So can't wait to see you. If you need anything, text me, reach out to me. Just know I love you. Bye-bye.